Hi, I'm Jesse Maddox.
And I'm Michael New.
And hi.
You know how many times that happens?
Every time.
That literally happens every time.
So today we're joined by Kelly Jones. Kelly is an actress who has appeared in movies, in TV, in commercials, and in travel shows. She is also the director of IPC Green International School. And also a very talented voice actress. That's what it was.
That's right. And
Wow.
father.
I'm a father of...
Who's your doctor? That is some fantastic work, Kelly. We've known each other for ages.
Is your dad Indiana?
Yes, and I climbed Mount Everest.
Oh, nice.
and
Did you really?
Helped children in Mongolia.
Did you really?
No.
Oh, fuck.
Hi, I'm Michael New. I'm an actor, producer, writer, and I got a background in engineering.
Hey, I'm Jesse Maddox. I'm an editor, musician, and owner of the best studio in Bangkok.
This is a show about people who are passionate about the fruits of their labor.
Welcome to Passion Fruit.
Kelly, what's your passion?
Oh, God.
Go ahead and answer it. And don't take too much time.
Okay, all right. I won't take too much time. Yeah. My passion is... Well, the first thing that comes to mind always is acting, and always has been. So, yeah.
Right.
Every form of acting. Theater, film, voice acting.
Theater. I left that one out of the intro. Yeah.
The thing I love about acting is how free I feel in it. So it's like I crave a freedom. Not to say that I'm trapped in my life or in who I am, but I like this fantasy land. I like playing these other people and their different lives. It gives me butterflies in my stomach in the same way I feel when I fall in love. So that's how I knew I was passionate, because
So you fall in love again and again and again
right now.
on each of these new projects. That's cool.
Exactly. Yeah. I've been quite lucky to have some very different types of projects, really different roles, and very unrealistic situations that I would never find myself in normal human life. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, that's what drives it, I guess.
So how long have you been acting, Kelly?
Since the day I was born. No.
Really? You acted your way out of a womb?
I'm not really, Kelly. I guess since I was a teenager, I really, in high school, I really liked theater class. I was a big drama geek and was pretty much always there. And then did my first musical, Chicago, and from that point on, I think I just never stopped pursuing it. Even though my parents were like, don't do that, you will never make a living out of it. You'll struggle. You'll like...
Were they right?
A little bit, yeah.
What did you think of the latest film adaptation of Chicago?
You mean the one with Catherine Zeta-Jones?
Yes.
And, yeah. I thought it was great. Yeah. It was really, really good. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it. It came out actually after we did Chicago, so it was really...
So you beat him to the
see.
punch.
Yeah, we beat them exactly.
They did it because they saw your performance and were so inspired
Yeah.
that they got Catherine Zeta-Jones in there. But for some reason, I didn't feel the same about, what's it called? Lady Was it? No.
What?
Moulin Rouge?
Yeah, Moulin Rouge.
Really?
Oh, I'm a guy. I don't know if that makes sense.
I like that one.
But it's
I'm outvoted here, by the way.
Yeah. Mike loves it.
Maybe it's
Just
not
admit it.
I do like it. No, I do like it.
Okay.
We call him Lady Michael-Aid.
And they're very different. I like it because it's a very artistic piece, and I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it at like, you know, at the I guess face value of it's a film. It's more like, oh, it's an art experience. Like all the shots are.
It's kind of like a big
There's so much
theater
motion and color.
experience on
Yeah.
film.
Well, it's so Baz Luhrmann and his style, and it's amazing. I used to...
Shout out Baz.
Hey, Baz. I used to sing their songs like on a helipad of the condo that I lived in.
Really?
Yeah, with my best friends.
I wish we could cut to a clip
I
of
know,
that.
that would be great.
On the top there, yeah.
In her pajamas.
In hindsight, it was pretty dangerous and stupid, but...
Well, that's what makes passion.
I just love how you're building at a helipad. That's awesome.
Yeah. No fence or edge.
That's kind of popular out here. There's a lot of helipads in Bangkok.
There's lots
Oh,
of
like on the
buildings.
top of like
There's lots of helis. lots of pads. So many pads out here.
Wow.
You said you started acting when you were really, really young. What was your first like official acting gig?
Official. What do you mean by official, by the way?
Well, I mean, like, you can appear in school plays and stuff, but what was the first one you
like
got paid
a paid
Ooh.
gig.
Yeah.
The Marine 2.
The Marine 2 is
I mean, you're not going to count TV commercials, right? So like.
well, I mean, it kind of counts.
yeah. Well, tell us about both.
Okay.
Yeah, start with the commercial.
Yeah.
TV commercial 16 or 17? Sunsilk.
Silk. I've worked with them as well.
For India.
They've been around forever, huh?
Yeah. Sunsilk. And then.
Not to say you're old. I don't mean like that.
He totally just.
They've been
called me
around
old.
forever.
Back in my day, Sunsilk was
You
in
look
glass bottles.
You look like that was 2 years ago if you were at 16, okay? You look like you're 18 is what I'm saying. You look young. I love
you.
yeah.
Thanks.
I love you. Okay.
Okay, nice.
Moving
save.
on,
Nice
moving
save.
on, moving on.
Yeah, but I would say in my heart, my first acting gig was the feature film, The Marine 2, U.S. film.
And what was that about? I'm sorry, I haven't seen it.
Well, I'm sure it's the sequel to The Marine.
No, it's that's okay. It's a sequel to The Marine with and The Marine, the original had John Cena.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I didn't see him either.
John
John
Cena.
Cena.
No, it's
I've seen
his
that joke.
catchphase. It's his
We need some
catchphrase.
drums
He says you
and a
don't.
symbol.
Actually, it's funny. We have a drum store next door, and sometimes they practice, and it
next
goes on
time.
perfect timing.
Whoever actually knows his
Like,
catchphrase will get that reference. I'm just counting on it.
So John Cena is back in Marine 2.
No. So the
he's
Marine 2,
dead.
it's Ted DiBiase Jr.
No, as in the wrestler.
Yeah, the wrestler.
Holy shit.
I love how you're more impressed with
Yeah,
that than
it's
John
like-
Cena.
I mean, granted, John
The
Cena's
studios that make The Marine 2 is
WWE.
and 20th Century Fox.
because Ted DiBiase was a classic, old school, like 80s wrestler.
Yeah, and it's his
I
son.
grew up knowing him. And
Ted
it's his
DiBiase
son.
Jr.
So that's not even a B, that's like a C plus actor, but that's awesome because he's related to DiBiase.
So I
Even
didn't
the
know.
You know Ted?
I didn't know who any wrestler was
Right.
until I met him. And Ted DiBiase Jr. He was awesome. He was really nice, and I think his bicep was the size of both my thighs.
Yeah, right.
And he could like pick me up. And so he was massive. And
TB.
then really, really gentle giant. And then so it was about some random exotic tropical island being taken over by separatists, terrorists, and I was the manager of the resort that was taken hostage, and pretty much I'm tied up in a hostage and screaming and crying for the whole film.
And how old were you when you landed this?
21, I think. 20 or 21.
Cool.
Which wasn't that long ago. It was just last year.
Really? So that was your first film,
Yes.
and how did you get that? How did you land that gig?
I auditioned.
And here in Bangkok.
Yep, here in Bangkok there was a lovely casting lady called Uy, which I'm sure you've met.
Never heard that name in this city ever.
Well, she is the P Uy. And
the one.
Yeah, and she
Shout out Uy.
yeah. Hi. So yeah, thanks to her. And then went and auditioned, then got a call back.
Were you in an agency, or were you just kind of
The way it is in Bangkok is you kind of have several agencies, several people representing you, but when there's a large feature film, generally the casting directors call you directly. Usually, anyway. So that was how that worked. She was the casting director.
And
Yeah.
so how did that spring forward your career? Did it spring forward your career, or was that just kind of one of these?
It spring forwarded my career in the sense that I believed more that I could do this
Yeah.
as a living, and
Yeah.
so did my parents and
There's
my
proof that it
friends.
works.
Yeah, and it was evidence that there is work, English speaking work, because my Thai isn't perfect, as we know, and it's not really a big dream of mine to be in Thai soap operas. So I mean, each to their own.
Why
Each
not?
To their own. They're very popular here. My mom loves them. I'm just not that much of a fan. But they might change.
Pigs might fly out of my butt.
But yeah, so it changed my career in the sense that I believed more that it was possible.
Yeah, I even myself, when I first came out here, like the first thing I ever did was a print ad for a drink, and it was like, I was just throwing out there to see if I could get it, and I got it, and it was like 35,000 baht, 1 day shoot.
Boom.
Never got anything like that again. But at the time, I was like, this is something I'm not going to do anything else but this. But I didn't really stick up. That's the thing. You have to keep kind of going.
Yeah.
Keep driving. Keep going to auditions. I don't think that's as common to get 35,000.
My very first audition was with Jesse behind the camera.
What?
Yeah, we go back.
What was it for?
I was playing an engineer in a German film.
So yourself, really?
Yeah, and you know, it's funny
German
because I did a Thai accent. I did a Thai accent. Well, I did a Thai accent, but I had 2 German lines in the film. So I learned them karaoke.
What were they?
Hast du den Draht für den Zaun? And hinten an schon wieder jemand aufgerissen.
You sound
The fact,
actually
I know,
German
and
right
the fact
now.
that you remembered it so quickly.
No, I would.
I only had the 2 lines.
I would have smoked and drank that away a long time ago.
Oh dear.
I mean water and passions smoke.
Yeah, but I mean, stuff like that, you never really know. I didn't. I always thought acting was a lot of fun, and like you, I did musicals and stuff back in the day. But I also, like you, I did not think I could turn it into a career. Or like your parents, I didn't think I could turn it into a career. And my mom was the same. And if it wasn't for this film, I don't think I would have been an actor. It's because they were really professional. They were very nice. It was a lot of fun, and we shot for like a month on the islands. It was really, really good.
Isn't that was actually, that's how the Marine 2 went. It was, we shot for a month in Phuket, but it wasn't like where everything else in Phuket is. It was on another side in a very secluded area. At first I was like, this is paradise. I have a wonderful room and a great resort. And they're blowing up this resort like with squibs and mini bombs everywhere. But then after a couple weeks, we all went a little stir crazy. Like, we actually went crazy.
Wow.
All of us. We just, because every day was wake up early in the morning, get my hands tied together, and then sit and cry all day, and then go back to bed. So after a while, I was like,
sounds like going to acting class.
yeah. No comment.
And you are in an acting
An acting class?
An acting class.
I am actually, because as I said, having more time now to focus on my my passion of acting, away from the school a little more. I've joined this amazing method acting class, and it has opened up a whole new perspective for me and how I should approach acting. Before I was always, I sort of had a formula in my head and thinking like I knew how to be another character, and this method acting sort of teaching me to be that person as myself. And so it's caused me to, Jesse's in the class.
Yep, this is actually how I think how I met Kelly was in this acting. I know I've been in here.
Really? That's so surprising.
I've been in the city for a long time. We've worked in the same thing, and it's probably a good chance that I've run into you once or twice, but never really spoke to you. But yeah, I met Kelly at the acting class, and and that's how we became literally the best friends on earth. See, that's acting. I've learned a lot.
That's acting. Kelly. Psh.
I totally believed him just then.
No, that's how I become good friends with Kelly. Is through this acting class. Can we name drop? I don't think it matters. No one would really know.
It's the Bangkok Actor Studio, and it's taught by Terry Blue, who studied at the New York Actor Studio.
Yes.
And
a delightful man from France.
From France, yeah. It's a really good group of people in there as well. Really,
it becomes a
good
family
energy.
pretty quickly once you join this, because it's like boot camp. It's like
it's not.
It's more intense
it's not
than
easy.
you'd expect, than I expected for sure.
It's really, really intense.
It's very intense. Everyone cries.
It's doing the trick, though. It's definitely expanding my instrument.
Well, what I was going to say, being a luk krung, as they say in Thailand, happy,
Half-child.
hybrid.
Happy. I've heard hybrid. Yeah.
You're Thai and
Welsh.
Welsh. For some reason I had American in my head, but I think it's just
That's
your
because I
accent.
it's because I sound American.
Because where'd you learn growing
American?
up? Where'd you learn growing up? Where'd you learn growing up?
I learned how to grow up from my parents.
Oh, okay.
No.
And they're Welsh.
My dad's Welsh, mom's Thai. Born in Singapore, grew up in Hong Kong, and then around 12, 13, moved from Hong Kong to Bangkok, and then was forced to somehow learn Thai, and still not perfect.
You're definitely your English is your first language.
English is my first language. Actually, in Hong Kong, I had a very strong English accent. And then when I moved here, and I went to an
Went to
international
American.
school. I became American. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, or Canadian.
Or Canadian.
No, actually, most Canadians don't sound like this. I have an American accent too.
Oh, really? Because I've met
They
I've
were
met
like
a-
out and about.
I've met a fair amount of Canadians who sound like this.
Me too. Jeremy.
There's parts of Jeremy has a strong Canadian accent, but like if you go to parts of Canada, especially on the coast, you'll hear and it's pretty strong.
You'll hear what?
Oh,
going out, I'm going to my car. But if you're in one of the bigger cities, it's less pronounced. It's still different than the American out. You'd hear out. I'm going out.
I'm going out.
kind of like Fargo.
Actually, similar. There's a lot of similarities, North Dakota and in Canada. Maybe it's the cold weather, and that's all you can pronounce through like frozen lips. That's probably where it came
Right.
from. And then now we're in Canada. It's like this is what Canadians just revert back to when it's warm.
I'm sorry.
We're zooming in on your nose right now.
Yeah.
Don't zoom in. My nose goes like this when I laugh.
Oh, really? It flares up?
Yeah. No. Now I'm gonna be like covering my nose.
My nose goes every direction.
What are you doing?
I've got a very bendy nose. So, hopscotching off that question,
Yeah.
I was kind of under the assumption that being a look krung, a halfie, whatever you want to call it, is desirable for when going out for say an acting audition or something like that. Don't ties
I'm so
like it?
glad you asked that question because I can finally tell the world.
Yeah, tell the world.
what
The
I
world's
have to
listening.
Go through. No. Okay, so as I said, my tie isn't that good.
Yeah.
Right. So if my tie was perfect and I was really chasing the dream of doing Thai TV shows or Thai films, then me as a Luke Krung would have no problem. However, I'm targeting English-speaking international films and theater. Now, with theater, there is no problem with how I look. So I really do like that about theater. Theater is like anybody can be in theater as long as they can act and be real on the stage. But in film, they're very specific about their looks. Before they meet the actor, they have it already. Caucasian woman in her 20s and her 30s, or a Thai woman can look like a bar girl or can look like, I don't know, just has to look 100% Asian.
Sure.
So then my problem has always been that I was never enough of either. There was never like a...
You're just never enough, Kelly.
I'm never enough. Oh gosh, got flashbacks. But yeah, I'll just sit here for a while. No, but really, it was always like, my feedback from my audition would be, you did fantastic, get the call back, but you didn't get the job, Kelly. Is it okay if I ask why? And they're like, yeah, they said you're not white enough, or you're not Asian enough.
Ooh.
It was always my dilemma. I was stuck in the middle, and I'm sure you can maybe sometimes understand that, but I officially do not look Thai, and I do not look Caucasian.
Surprisingly, I've had the exact opposite experience.
So he can't relate, so I'm on my own here.
Well, it's funny because
Well, here's the thing: is that he can speak Thai fluently.
right. Well, there's
Yes.
that
Yes,
too,
you can,
and because I can do like a pretty good Thai accent.
Yeah.
I've been cast as Asian
she was in
characters who
musicals,
can't speak English
remember?
properly.
Chicago.
I've been cast as foreigners who can't speak Thai properly in Thai
Yes.
soap operas too.
Remember,
So,
But
I've done both.
I would have to say, Michael, you do look more Asian to me.
Yeah.
You do look
Sure.
more towards
Which
Thai
maybe
or
surprising.
Chinese.
I think you look more
Yeah.
Falang.
See, everyone has something different to say about how I look, and I'm just like,
Like out of you two, he looks more Asian. You look more Falang, in my opinion.
right,
I mean, even your skin tone.
right, yeah. That's
Race
what you
coming
get for
down
saying
outside.
that.
Was that racist or something?
Have we
Jeez.
gone orange?
But,
Or-
I think because
okay.
this helps.
Oompa.
But to be fair though, when I was playing a foreigner who didn't speak Thai properly, I did think I was miscast.
Well, you did that film Ghost
Ghost House.
and I
Yes.
saw, I think, a trailer with you in it, and you were very convincingly the Thai.
Yeah,
I was
Guy.
really tan for that, and I
What was your name? Like Bobo? Go-Go?
Go-Go, yeah. Go-Go. Cool. Shout out to Rich Ragsdale and the whole team for putting me in that one. That was a lot of fun.
Hi, I'm Kelly B. Jones, and next time you guys can call me. No, just kidding. Self-promo time. That was epic.
Hey man, that's part of the business too.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was the answer to your question is that's
Right.
often times the hurdle that I have to tackle.
Because
It's the
look.
look.
Because it's strange.
For sure.
Because look, Krung, I will say this. This isn't your question. I would say that generally people find people with mixed looks very attractive. So that's why you would assume that they would also be more attractive in the auditioning phase and all that stuff. But I could see how if they're looking for specifics, it's almost non-specific. So maybe they complain about that.
Also, I'm not a model, and there's a lot of mixed Lukrungs, Eurasian models, actresses here, and they go for that. It's like they're typecast into that role of the damsel in distress, beautiful girlfriend or sexy girlfriend, whatever. I'm not that. I'm really not. I can put a lot of makeup on.
I beg to differ.
Thank you, Jocelyn. But in reality, I'm just sort of average. Don't really know where I'm from. Looking actress that can act, I think. So
You can act.
Yeah.
Can you sing?
Yeah, she can.
I guess I know you were singing on a helipad, right?
Yeah, but that's because no one could hear me.
Musicals, remember?
So in Chicago, were you singing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you remember?
I am not singing anything.
Have you done other than Chicago? Have you done any paid singing, acting roles, gigs, anything like that?
Yes, I sang in The Death of Miss America.
The Death.
Yes. It was a great play.
It was a dark and stormy night.
Yes. Let me think. I have. Why can't I think of anything right now? I've sang in a few things.
You're on the hot spot.
Yeah.
We could look it up on
I don't know.
IMDb. Or maybe
I've never sang in a movie or anything.
Pretty sure I've heard you rap too.
Yes, I've done a rap, but it's completely inappropriate.
Why did you do a rap?
On here, I was in high school. I can't say anything more.
Say no more. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I'll do it for you later.
But speaking of schools and whatnot, can we just quickly ask you, is it ICP Green or IPC? ICP. That's Insane Clown Posse School.
Yeah, no.
And we're raising some clowns.
The opposite of that.
IPC Green.
IPC Green, yeah.
That's your school.
Yes, I'm one of the owners, so it's not just mine. Me and my husband, actually. But
We've all been there. We've all filmed there recently.
For the sake of the listeners/viewers, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about the school?
Okay, well, IPC stands for International Preschool Center. Is an existing school in Sukhumvit in Prompong area that's been open for like 34 years. My daughter went there, and we love it. And we loved it so much and became very close with the owner's director of that school, and we ended up partnering with them to open a franchise of it, but a green school version.
Yeah.
Which is another passion now since having my daughter 5 years ago.
Nice
was
segue.
like, when I'm gone, what of the world will be left behind for my daughter and her children? And it was really actually depressing. And so schools, we thought was the best way to sort of help the environment, because it's not us that are going to be hanging around in the future, it's them. And in kindergarten, in the early years, that's when they're the most absorbent of habits and different practices and things like that. So we thought, why not have a green school where the campus itself is a teacher and they practice every day the basics of recycling and renewable energy and things like that.
Beautiful.
On top of learning, everything
Boring
that a child
stuff.
wants to learn, boring stuff. But everything is done, with play, because it is the British curriculum, and they believe that playing is learning. So, yeah. So we opened up IPC Green in the Ramkhamhaeng area. We've only been open like a year now.
I can attest. It's a wonderful, wonderful school. Yeah, I was really
you.
impressed by it.
Yeah, it's very cool. And
Kind of wanted to go back in time and go to that school.
That's what I said once it was
Kind of
built.
depressing for me. It's like,
My husband, he was the one that he's an engineer like yourself, and he's incredibly intelligent, and he designed it.
Not like yourself.
Unlike people. And,
Like how she said like herself, and he's intelligent.
yes, that's the extra part. That's what differs you guys. No. Aw.
It's fine. It's fine. It's cool, Nick.
And and so he sort of visualized the school and then made it a reality, and I won't swear. It turned
Holy
out to
wow.
be, holy wow. It turned out to be better than how it was planned to look, how it looked on the pieces of paper.
Do you believe that children are our future?
Why did you ask it like that?
Is that one of the questions you wrote into your little book?
It is, because I tend to think that it's more like adults that are our future. Scientists, engineers, people with, mature minds. Not children. Children are not our future. Adults are.
Wow. Wow, okay.
I'm just saying, technically, when you think about it, it's a weird thing to say. Children are our future?
walking out there.
Children won't be children in the future. They'll be adults. So you know what?
Yeah.
Michael Jackson was wrong.
But what they learn now is going
Is
to
the future.
is the future.
I like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
I like that. Nice
And
rebuttal.
to be honest, and I'll say this to everyone, I think the way education is going right now is downhill. I think that we need to change the way children are learning.
Absolutely.
No, that's actually that's a very interesting point, because I've talked to a few teachers, and a lot of them have told me the same thing.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Do you think maybe it's because of the internet? Do you think maybe it's the culture?
Like the culture
Purely
of being very doting.
Everything else, like technology, look at how fast has been advancing in the last 10 years. The school systems generally around the world have been following the same system since 100 years ago. Nothing is advancing or evolving, yet everything else is. So don't you think education should evolve at the same pace as everything else in the world? So, and the environment plays a big, part in that as well, because so much is changing. But we're still learning the same stuff from 100 years ago in the same style.
And the world was so different
Yeah.
back then and to is now. Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. It's kind of weird that it's taking them this long to kind of figure it out.
You've got all the education and knowledge of the world at your fingertips nowadays with your smartphone. Why, use it.
Exactly. So schools should be sort of centers of innovation and learning and collaboration and team building, as opposed to just, this is how you do it, this is how you follow instructions, this is how you work in a factory. Okay, bye, graduate.
I don't know if you remember, but I guess when we were all younger, there was always that one kid in math class like, why do I have to learn how to do this if I have a calculator? And then the teacher always said, tell you who it wasn't, Nick.
Nick is her husband.
Nick, yes, just in case you don't know.
Thanks
Put
for
a
the
picture of him right here.
the useless information for the listener.
But it's funny that nowadays all of us have a calculator with us at all times. You've got this amazing tool, and yeah, you're right. You should kind of like just teach kids how to use it from an early age.
Okay, sure.
Well,
There's that way. I mean,
or
it
at least
couldn't
as a
hurt to
tool.
learn it, but yeah.
No, I'm not saying like, give all your kids phones and have them play games on it.
Which is going to end up happening with 95%
That's
of
going to
them
happen
anyways.
anyway,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But yeah.
But you could be like my sister who held off on the screens for as long as you could. And I think like if you can keep the screens out of their hands for the most interesting part, or the most growth period of their life, then...
Yes.
Because it could be affecting them pretty negatively. We don't know how badly that could be.
Exactly. And that was another thing that in IPC Green that we considered. A lot of other schools, they really focus on the classroom and what the classroom looks like and the setup of the classroom. I'm not saying that we don't do that, but we focused a lot on the outdoor space that we provide. It's to make it as fun as the classroom is, to encourage them to learn outside. So sometimes the class is outside or on top of the art tree or in the middle of the playground or in the farm.
A tree house where they
Yeah, sorry, there's
It's called the art tree.
Yeah.
It's the art tree, but now it's the library. We keep changing.
Well,
we just do stuff
I hear you.
every term with it. So
I like how, as this is passion fruit, and your initial answer to what is your passion, you went right into acting, but I see quite a bit of passion in what we're talking about now. Would you say that you are heavily passionate in this this field of work, the whole children education, the IPC Green, all of that? Is that a passion still?
I think it is. Yeah.
It sounds like it is. I would say it is.
That's why I always say I feel like I lead a double life because
I never worked a day in my life.
I did not say that. Everything has just been passion. Yeah, but definitely acting has been my passion for longer, but since having my daughter, my perspective has changed a little bit.
Right. So how is that like? Being a mom, running a school for children, and being an actor. It's kind of like the mom and the school for children, they go almost hand in hand.
They do.
Then you got actor, which is like 48 miles that direction. I mean, it's not really the same thing. How do you juggle the two?
I don't.
You don't? You just drop the ball every day.
I mean, I've been able to get back into my acting recently because the school's now been open for over a year. I'm able to step back more as an owner and less hands-on as a director every single day. Mm-hmm. Having said that, I still go in every week. I still run my own play group. Mm-hmm. But I'm able to focus more on the acting. So that is one way that I've been juggling it.
That's great.
Motherhood is difficult when you're working.
I've heard that.
And so there are there's a thing called mother's guilt, which we have constantly, and it just niggles away at you.
It niggles right away at you.
Can you say that? I don't know. Is
she
that
said niggles.
Okay, let's take
Look
that.
it up, people.
I mean, no.
Definition on the screen.
Niggles.
It eats away at your conscience.
Okay.
Am I spending enough time with my daughter and things like that? But having a passion, having something that you go for constantly, I believe is a big lesson to my daughter, because
yes,
I sometimes do wish I could be a full-time mom, but if I was, she's going to always remember that I was that and never followed my dreams and my passions, and that's what I want her to do.
I'll tell you, my own mom was also, you remind me of my mom at a young age.
Yeah.
She was doing theater, she was doing commercials, she was doing television, and then she had a daughter, then she had me, and I remember she would openly, happily say to us, in a passive aggressive way, that I was really big into all this stuff, and I probably would have kept on going, but I had kids and a family, which I would never take back. I'm totally happy, but she would still say it. Like by saying the first part, I wouldn't forget that. And I remember I wasn't offended to hear that, but she would always kind of make it clear that if it hadn't been for us, she probably would have kept going and acting. But she also didn't make it. She didn't make it seem like it ruined her life. She was very happy being a mom and a family. Yeah. But by saying it, it always made me think, well, why the fuck didn't you just go do that more? Like, fuck, I mean, you could still be our mom and go and... Because like, if you even had an ounce of wanting that as your passion in your life, you should have just kept doing it. I mean, she ended up doing it.
And it depends on what kind of roles you get. Some acting gigs, especially if you're working on a big TV show, you're gone like 9 months full time.
Right.
And that's very, very tough.
Kelly, what about child acting, and what do you think of that? And would you consider your own child for putting them in there for your benefit? No, I mean, for getting them into child acting.
Oh, well, my daughter has done like a couple of commercials.
She's already in there.
Yeah, well, no, but simply because when she was about 2 years old and 3 years old, simply because the people that I knew in casting and everything were like, you can come for the casting, and can you bring your daughter too? How old is she? Because it's for a mom and daughter role.
Okay.
And those 2 commercials, she got it and I didn't.
She really? But yeah, you still got paid and she didn't.
Oh no, it went into her college fund. But it did.
Beer money.
Well, that's what she'll use it for, but
who knows?
Well, she doesn't drink beer. Wine money.
No, I mean her daughter when she gets to...
Oh, yeah, that's true. College, that's basically beer money, right?
But she's kind of grown up to be, and I love you, Addie, but she's grown up to be a little bit of a shy girl. And I will never, ever force her or pressure her to do anything she doesn't want to do. If she does, I'll ask her, would you like to do that? Mm-hmm. I can bet you 100% she'll be like, no. Okay.
I'm not like you, weirdo.
Yes, pretty much. She's really sporty. She's really into art. And
Nice.
she really likes rhyming, like rapping.
She reminds me of me. That was me as a kid.
And she loves to play the piano, so she's learning the piano.
Well, it still sounds like she's leaning towards the arts from what you said.
Yeah, but she's not a... She performs for us, but she doesn't... I can't see her...
Only time will tell.
Yes, exactly. I wouldn't push her.
I mean, beyond just wanting to do it or not, I think it's also very important when it comes to child acting. And this is something I've run into in the industry a bit, where if you're doing a production, it's not fair to put the stress of finishing on time and of all the budget and stuff on the head of a child, especially when they're not either they're not old enough to really understand what's at stake, or or it's not fair to put some like heavy emotions on. It's very difficult.
It is
to work with kids sometimes.
But having said that, if there's a child that wants to do it really badly, you can't crush that dream.
Oh yeah.
True.
At an early age,
They might be like, get on set on time. I'm working here.
Yeah.
There's always the school productions like and the smaller stuff and shooting stuff for fun, but on a big production it's always difficult. I remember we were all on the same project not too long ago. I don't know if you remember. There was the mockumentary series about these two 30-year-old kindergartners.
Oh.
Yes. So as you remember, my cousin was on that, my little five-year-old cousin, and
Adorable.
well, he had fun because all he had to do was just run around smacking everybody all day. But I specifically, that's why I wrote it like that, because I'm like, he's having fun. It doesn't matter how many times he has to smack me. He's gonna have fun smacking me every time.
Yeah.
As you do.
Yeah. As soon as it becomes. It all depends on the crew and the director and the producers and how they handle it. And as soon as it becomes stressful for children, it really, really gets on my nerves because that's not how you deal with children.
And just Hollywood in general, you should probably keep your kids away. Just a fair warning.
Yeah. Well, you have these things like America's Got Talent, Britain's Got Talent, The X Factor, and the children and the people that audition are getting younger and younger and younger.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of worry, that's a lot of pressure for that child. But there are kids out there that can handle it because they don't have that same
Because
perspective
childhood
as
isn't the
us.
same as 100 years ago, where being a child was a major part of your life. Now it's like, I feel like it's being expedited and almost skipped in some senses. You got kids, you got boys and girls that are talking about things that I would never.
That's one of the other things the internet does, right? And so
Yeah, just having a phone, having access to everything.
Yes,
It's beautiful for
TV
adults, but like
shows.
you shouldn't be knowing everything when you're 10.
Oh yeah,
7.
We always say that. Nick and I were like, Addie, she's how old is she? She's 5, going on 15.
Right.
Like she really has sassiness, and she says like a lot.
Right.
Which I don't. Do I? I don't. I don't
Probably
think I
not.
do.
Not bad. Well, we'll find out. We're
find
gonna
out.
count.
Don't you dare.
We're counting.
Oh
We're counting. This podcast has taught me speak.
no. Right? It will force
Really?
you to be really
Anyone who watches or listens to this, they will see that I actually take time to formulate a question, because in the beginning it would be like, are you? It's like, Jesse, spit the fucking words out or don't speak.
It's also very funny because you don't think of these things in normal conversation because you kind of just do it naturally. I wonder if it's the same reason why an auctioneer will never stop talking, because you almost feel like you need to keep
on a roll.
producing sound to keep someone
25 here,
interested.
25 there, 25, 25.
Yeah, it's a rhythm and a pace that keps people interested in the same way you would if you're watching a rapper.
It's like Eminem.
Yeah.
And I wonder what's up in Eminem.
Exactly.
Well, I have two theories. It's either because that makes it so you pay attention, or it's because they want to distract you from the fact that it's like a terrible deal. You probably shouldn't pay that much for whatever it is they're auctioning. I don't know.
I know,
be.
right? $20,000.
Yeah, you're just yeah.
Yeah, $20,000. $21,000. $22,000.
I'll believe anything you say as long as you say it really fast, without
Exactly.
stuttering.
Yeah, it's true, and it gives you a limit of time to decide.
Yeah, limit of time.
I knew you. That was like a trigger sentence right here.
Yeah.
You have a limited time to do your.
He's helped you so many times.
So many times. It's from the acting class.
So
anyway,
one of the other things you do is you do a lot of voice acting out here. You do a lot of cartoons, you do corporate stuff, you do commercial voiceovers, and you do all these accents.
I do video games.
Video
too.
games, yeah.
Just finished an expansion of a video game, a zombie killing video game.
Nice.
Dead Effect 2, right?
Yes. Yeah.
When are they ever going to do a zombie nurturing and taking care of video game?
When they stop trying to eat your brains.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What got you into doing all these voices to start with?
Rejection.
Nice. That kid, she was ready for that answer, by the way.
No, honestly, remember the thing I said about how it was difficult for these international films to place me in these typecast
Yeah.
roles that would come to Thailand.
Same with language.
Yeah, simply because of how I look. So I found voice acting didn't care how I looked. And I was also quite good at accents. So I could be anybody I wanted to be, whether it was an old woman or a young little 3-year-old girl or an alien or a zombie killer.
Or all at the same time,
All at the same
Be
time.
awesome.
right?
But yeah, so
Start writing.
Yeah, I'm gonna start writing. We're gonna make this happen.
I ended up getting like really boring like corporate e-learning jobs, just speaking with
yeah.
this normal voice. And then somebody else was like, hey, I have the same job, but it's for UK. Can you do it in an English accent? I was like, sure. And then there was like corporate training where they had to have different types of customers, like acting out potential scenes that a saleswoman would have to deal with. So they're like, can you be an Aussie woman, an Australian woman, or a Thai woman, or a Chinese woman, or an Indian woman? And then suddenly all these accents came into play, and then I ended up sort of going into cartoons. And I think my first one was Flying with Bird, where I played like, I think 7 different characters, and it was it was 2 seasons.
Can you
of
do some of them? Oh, go on then.
myself up for that. Okay, one was Jamie, who was a skater boy, and he's like, "Whoa! Oh my God! I love that! No, I don't want to go there." And it was like
Yeah,
that
that's a pretty
kind
good
of
boy.
boy voice, and that voice has come into a lot of other different projects.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
It's kind of Bart Simpson.
Exactly. It's totally inspired.
I
by
like
him.
that. I like
Yeah.
that. It brought me back.
Got any other ones?
God,
One more.
I don't know.
2 more.
I'm sure you can.
Right now, I'm doing one for like early years children called Robot Galaxy Kids.
Robot Galaxy Kid.
Yeah, Robot Galaxy Kids. Plug in. And her name is Nana, and she talks like this, and she loves to sing, and she loves her favorite song is Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes. So it's like really cute little tiny girl. I don't know.
That's wonderful.
I know. But then there's a lot of like other serious characters. Like
If we
the Dead of
pitched you cartoon characters, like, and gave you a little bit of a character description, do you think you could do a little line for us, or a line or two?
We could try. If it works, put it in. If it doesn't, cut it out.
All right. Okay, here we go. What about a morbidly obese German elephant?
German.
Whoa. No pressure or anything.
I know. God. Morbidly obese. I can't do a German accent.
Yeah,
very well.
Jesus.
Um,
How about morbidly obese but not German?
Yeah, okay, what about,
another accent?
English. A morbidly obese English elephant.
English elephant, sure.
English. Okay. You have to ask me something.
Okay. Whoa, Mr. Thornton, you're so fat.
Actually, I'm an English woman elephant, okay? And I really like it when people call me Mrs. or Miss Elephant, all right? It's an insult just because my voice is low doesn't mean I'm a mister.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That was very good.
I don't know what that was.
I liked it. I could see it holding a cup of tea
Yes.
Yeah.
with its
Morbidly obese, but
fat
posh.
hand.
But it is really cool what you touched on, the fact that you can play almost anything that you can lend your voice to. You can be that character.
Maybe.
Almost.
I don't think. Not even almost. Just
Well,
a
what-
few different.
Because when I look at you, I don't see fat elephant. So that's good that you could pull that
Thank
off.
you, Jesse. I really touched
And I
that.
felt like I should say that to you.
Yep.
But I mean, you can play younger kids, so age isn't an issue. If you wanted to,
Sometimes, yeah.
you
younger
could let
kids.
yourself go, and you could keep doing it.
I could let myself go. That's always been a part.
Yeah, that's been my real
passion.
passion.
That's what, yeah, my real passion is eating and not having to work it off.
That is definitely a passion. I love eating. But yeah, no, that has definitely crossed my mind. I was like, when I get old and wrinkly and they don't want to cast me in anything anymore, I can continue to do voice acting. So yeah.
Yeah, thank God our voices don't really get old and wrinkly that much.
Yeah, exactly. They might get a little wobbly, but then
right.
that works for the
Yeah,
character.
everyone likes a wobble
Yeah.
here and there.
Yeah, exactly.
Kel,
Jesse.
in the rest of 2018 and going into 2019, what do you got coming up? What are your goals? What's the future of Kelly Jones?
Oh, well, it's to continue with this method acting class that I'm doing, and to shoot and create my own projects or projects of the people in that class or people that I know, and put it on my reel. I mean, I've done a few feature films and projects here and there, but not a lot that I want to revamp my reel, basically, to put it with some seriously quality stuff that suits who I am. And also to, I don't know, find myself. That question makes me nervous because I don't know where this year is going to take me.
Well, that's interesting because, it's so basically, it's not like you have, it's not like you have a bunch of things on the schedule booked. It's more like you have a lot of opportunity to go after whatever it is that's coming up.
Yes, exactly. I mean, obviously, to continue with my voice acting, that is quite regular work. There isn't a week that doesn't go by that I'm not doing something with that. But I want to focus more time on writing my own script.
Creating,
writing my own script, doing stuff with you. You're an amazing...
I like that answer. And is there anything else?
Yeah, is there anything you'd like to plug?
Other than
this was a very innocent question. You guys are just disgusting. Sick minds, both.
This is the first female guest we've had, all right? There's a lot of pent-up energy.
I know, seriously.
We were just saving all of these comments over the last 3.
Dead Effect 2.
Yeah, there is Blackpills production. I play a reporter in one of their... That one still hasn't come out. It's called Product Wars. Dead Effect 2, they expanded that game, and I'm Danette, so I'm the big-boobed blonde in that with a British accent. I don't know. Last year, 2 films came out called Troy the Odyssey and King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. Now, those are made by the same people who made Sharknado, so...
I'm a big fan of Sharknado. And Sharknado too. Gonna go dance outro? Dance outro?
Dance outro.
All right, tell you what, I'll beatbox, you sing. Ready? Give us...
What?
Our podcast is called Passion Fruit. Make up a rap about passion fruit. Here we go.
Passion fruit, sitting here with my 2 bros, and I'm wiggling my nose when I laugh. I don't know what else to say.
That might be the new theme song.
I broke my beat because I was like, oh shit, that's really good. Like,
she's the only one who stayed on beat.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.